Hello again. So this is the second episode of our series, the big picture and overview of real estate investing. So this is just a quick overview. We're not deep diving into anything that's technical. So this is very simplified. Okay, so most people they think it's easy to do real estate investing, no? And then later on they find out that there's things that needs to be done. So everything that needs to be done in closing a deal. I'll show you this little cute cycle. Quick overview of real estate investing. Now that you are ready, let's move into the overview of real estate investing. First is you need to learn. I think I learned first by educating myself and by researching in that specific area. I learned a lot of, I read a lot of books, I attended a lot of seminars, and I also listened to a lot of YouTube videos. So how do you structure a deal? How do you actually finance a deal? Now we'll go into this later on, dive deep into it, okay? So this is it. Learn the market first, okay? You need to find a good niche. Whether are you trying to invest in a raw land and then build in it? Are you trying to just buy something that's more affordable and buy a pre-selling? Or do you want to buy something that's foreclosed from Pag-ibig, from the banks? Buenamano.com.ph is the website for BPI. There's also listings from PNB, from Land Bank. There's so many listings of foreclosed. There's even an SSS, mostly in Pag-ibig, syempre. And then you need to be an expert in your niche. All right, you need to focus on that niche. What are your strategies going to be? You need to see a good deal immediately. This is done by practice. Like anything in life, you don't get good at anything if you don't practice. Okay, you will make a lot of mistakes. That's okay, that's part of life. And then the next is you need to set your goal. What will be your goal? Do you want an extra passive income of 20,000 a month? Do you want an extra passive income of 50 or 100 or 200? If you really want to have a comfortable life, why not? So as you can see, you cannot probably see it, but behind me is a big whiteboard that I put my goal in each year. I stretch myself. I put a yearly goal, a 2 years goal, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and even up to 10-year goal. That's the only way where you can find clarity of where your direction is going. Either if you are setting a goal of, I want to have one foreclosure house for rent this year. So what will you do? You do an overtime sa work, you do a side hustle business, whatever it takes, no excuses. All right, so set your goal right. So do you want a capital gains? Do you want to buy the foreclosed property for capital gains? Do you want to repair and sell it straight away, or repair and rent it for cash flow? Or you want to do both? Why not? Okay, if you can handle the stress, then why not? And then the third thing you need to learn is how to actually find these properties. Where do you actually find these properties? So I would recommend, first of all, going to Google, search foreclosed homes. Many will pop up. Go to Pag-ibig website, go to Buenamano, which is BPI. Go to East West, they also have a lot of listings. BDO, a lot of listings in BDO, mostly condominiums na foreclosed. What other sites are good? I find PNB has thousands of properties na foreclosed. Thousands of properties. Even the Central Bank of the Philippines has a lot of foreclosed properties. So depending on your budget, then you can select which one you want. Also, you need to do your due diligence for that, okay? Never buy something na has not been consolidated or the title is still in the previous owner, and then the previous owner is still living illegally. Okay, so yeah, how to find. Now you don't need a real estate agent to find this deal. It's all online. You can even just DM me, and also we'll make another video how to actually find these properties. It will be exciting, right? Okay, let's move on to the next one. And then if you find these deals that are near your target area, whether you want to build near the city or buy near the city or outside a little bit of your budget, so outside the city, you want to shortlist these. You don't want each and every property to be due diligenced because it's expensive. You're gonna wanna go to RD, you're gonna wanna call the bank or the pag-ibig to check if the papers are actually good. You want to check the tax declaration and the title for these deals. And then you shortlist them, you put them in your funnel before buying one. You analyze it if you're actually gonna make a profit. After that, you do your due diligence. I cannot stress it enough. Do your due diligence. There are so many problem properties in the Philippines because of our weak governance, right? They do not make any laws to streamline the titling, to make it all available. People will just print a fake title and then show it to you and sell it to you, right? Some do that. I've seen many people getting scammed by this. Okay, so do your due diligence. Go to the RD and request a certified true copy. Okay, they will release the title but not the tax declaration, because what people will do is if they have both, they can actually fake the owner's signature and then transfer that to their name. So the RD will only give you the certified true copy of the title, which is only about 200 pesos, I think, from memory, or 500 pesos. Worth it na. You gonna wanna check if it's actually free of any pending cases. You're gonna wanna check if it's free from any annotation if naaba siya'y utang sa bangko. If it's, you have to see if it's clean title. Now, if you done all that, you then buy. Now, this is the good part, I think. So you buy and then you fix later. So during the buying process is, if you are buying a foreclosed house, which I would recommend for people that are starting out, and that's my favorite way of acquiring assets as well, you attend a public auction. And negotiated sale, as mentioned here, is a property that did not sell during the public auction. Normally, these properties are often old, they are often dirty outside, but check with your engineer. Hire someone for one day to check the property and see if the structural integrity is still okay. If the damage is only paint, if the damage is only the roof, I would still buy it. It's the more problem of the property, the more I like it, because it means it's cheaper, especially when it's in a good area. And then after that, you find a way to finance the property. Now, one tip I will give with pag-ibig, if you buy a house and you purchase it for cash, they will actually give you a discount. From memory, I think they will give you 20% discount. If it's under negotiated sale, they will give you 20% discount if you purchase it in cash. Or if you are, if you don't have that much cash floating around, then we can do a financing as well. Talk to the bank, show them your proof of income, and surely they are excited to give you that foreclosed property, because most often banks do not like to hold these assets because they are not generating income for them. After that, normally there is a fix. Before you can sell it or before you can rent it, you need to fix some area. Now I'll show you a little example here. So this house is not one of my deal, but it is one of my mentor's deal. So the owner of this house moved abroad and left the house just as it is. She did not even live in it. I think she moved to the US. she did not bother paying the house anymore because she's not in the country. So it got possessed by the bank. So my mentor said he came in, he checked the property, it was really clean. It only needed a repaint to look good or to look brand new. Now the paint cost him less than probably 30,000, just a minor paint on the outside. It just needed a minor paint. And after 2 months, he hired a real estate broker. After 2 months, it sold and he made a good profit out of it. So yeah, that's a good example, no? Home run for my mentor. This is probably very good profit here. It's beautiful area, beautiful house. Now, the profit after that. So that's your favorite part. After getting your profit, if you have sold your property or if you have rented it, and after maybe a few months or a few years, the profit na ka, you just repeat the process, no? Oh, hang on. After that, sorry. So after that, you make your profit, you structure the deal, execute an absolute deed of sale, and then the buyer will process the transfer of title na. And then, marketing, I would outsource this. I would not recommend you selling your own property if you want to sell it fast. You can either do a contract of lease if you want it to cash flow lang, or if you want it to sell, then you execute an authority to sell to your real estate broker. After that, you get your profit. You just repeat the process. I think the first and second deal will be the hardest because you're still stressing out because you become emotional. Huge money is involved in this. Most often I find that people they get stressed not because of the work involved in the property, but because of the money involved. Money is a very emotional subject to the people, but in this scenario, as you practice, your emotional capacity to handle this stress expands, and you just rinse and repeat. I have seen people who does so many deals in 1 year. So meaning their stress muscle is really flexed na. Okay, so takeaway. Yeah, okay. So key takeaway. Now you see the big picture of purchasing a property. So now you have lesser price, greater chance of success. So where are you now? And what are the gaps? What are the knowledge gaps that you are confused of? Let me know. Comment down below and I will try to answer in my best capacity. I'm not an expert at all, but I always make sure that I answer with precision. Everything that I would recommend is based from experience lang. So this is not a financial advice, okay? All right. Thank you. Salamat. Bye-bye.